Hello, friends, and welcome to Wonderland. I hope that you have a few moments to take time out to reflect on this Aries new moon, the spring equinox, and that you're ready to get moving. This is a pick a card reading. If you're new to pick a card readings, you basically just choose one of these piles, whichever one is jumping out at you, whichever one is calling to you. I'm not going to do anything crazy to help you connect to it. This is an Aries moon. This is a fire moon. It's time to go. Let's get going. Which one jumps out at you? Don't think about it. Just pick it and go. We have pile number 1 with a red candle, pile number 2 in the center with a blue candle, and pile number 3 with a green candle. If the color jumps out at you, if the card jumps out at you, if the number jumps out at you, pick that one, find this timestamp in the description below, and you will be taken directly to your reading. If you're interested in seeing how all of these readings connected, more about this Aries new moon energy, and what we've got going on collectively, there's also a closing statement at the end. I encourage you to listen to it as well. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you so much, and we'll see you on the other side of the looking glass. Hello, group 1. If you chose the red candle, I am going to light that for you right now. I'm giggling because this is the first reading that I've done, so I don't know what other color candles are going to be selected, but it might be that they're all red, just because of all of this fire energy, but maybe not. So I'm not really sure what the other colors are so far. So we have lots of information to get for you today. And let's start out with the tarot. We have the Fool. The Messenger of Earth, or Page of Pentacles. Justice. And the 8 of Fire, or the 8 of Wands. So, a group 1. The thing that jumps out at me the most is the Fool here. And I know I've been saying this since January that we can all hibernate until March. And when March 21st and the spring equinox gets here, it's go time. Go, 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 go. But for those of you that selected this pile, this is even more significant for you, as on top of some of the oracle messages that we've gotten to. It's time for you to not just dip your toe in, it's time for you to jump in with both feet. Don't worry if you don't feel like you aren't ready, because you can still learn as you go. With the Messenger of Earth, or the Page of Pentacles here, you can still learn. You don't have to be the master of something to jump into this experience, or jump in with this idea, or get started on something. You're going to learn as you go and learn as you grow. With the Justice here, the immediate message that I got for some of you is that if you've tried to jump in the past and it didn't work out, this time it's going to work out. It's going to be, and it wasn't anything to do with you and this not being the right path. It was a timing thing. and now is the right time. It's going to work out this time. So don't worry about that. If you've tried this before and it didn't work out, or it might just be that the timing is right now, but because you are being open and receptive to learning as you go, it's just going to work out differently. The last card that we have here is the Eight of Fire, which is the Eight of Wands also. Things might be moving quickly. It's like you've been on this threshold for a while, and I'll go ahead and pull this card out too. This was your archetype card as well. You've been on this threshold for a while, and you've been just kind of standing on the edge, like not really knowing when or what to do. Now is the time. Jump in, cross that threshold. You're going to be leaving behind the part of you that prohibited this thing from working out. You're not going to doubt yourself anymore. That person's gone. Leave that person behind in winter. We're stepping through this spring equinox threshold. And because the momentum of this has been building for so long, it's going to be like a rocket shooting off once you finally make the move, take the step, take the leap. I wanted to read from the archetype guidebook here. Should have saved the page. I turned right to the page before, and now I can't find it. Okay. So this is the door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. You have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step towards the future that calls you. The future is calling. And with this justice here, like it's going to be fair, it's going to be balanced, it's going to work out, it's going to be okay. So if there's any fears, like leave those on the other side of the door. Your animal spirit is shark. Lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior. I really saw this as being connected with the justice here. And remembering that as you are leading this way, you need to remember to be fair and just to everybody around you. Have compassion for everybody around you. Don't hone your power and leadership over others. We need to lead with fair and balanced and just power. The big thing that stuck out for me about shark for this reading, there is a lot of like oranges, reds, fire, like the oranges here, the oranges here. And so the thing that jumped out at me about the shark messages from this deck here is that they are an ascended aspect of Mars. And Mars is also transitioning around this time, or it may have already transitioned from one sign to another. And because we're talking about Aries is ruled by Mars. There's a lot of fire going on with those of you that selected this pile. Maybe fire is one of your leading elements. Maybe it's an element that you connect to, or maybe it's maybe you have a lot of Aries in your chart, or either Leo or Sagittarius, and that there's just fire sprinkled everywhere within this reading. And I think that again points back to the justice, is to remember to lead fairly, to not get hot-headed and aggravated and frustrated, to not let your anger take control of you, to remember to take a deep breath and know that you'll find another solution to this problem. So there was like this kind of volatile energy in regards to this, and you're going to have that with an Aries moon. You're going to have that with a lot of fire energy. So just remember to stay calm, cool, and collected when you feel yourself getting heated or angry. So just keep that in mind. That was really jumping out at me. The guidance of the shark card is, this is the master card of peaceful spiritual warrior. You are called on to strengthen and discipline yourself, claim your power, and act as a calm, wise influence for the highest good of all. Because we had such a theme of the Fool, the Threshold, I really felt called to the backs of these cards. This is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck. The back of this card was like screaming, "Pick me, pick me!" So we have the Horse King, Assistance, and Control. So this is again pointing to this very domineering, aggressive kind of energy that we see with Mars and Aries, and possibly within those of you that chose this pile. And I think this is just another reminder that's pointing back to this justice here, to or this might be something that you're leaving behind, letting your anger not get the better of you, letting things calm and settle before disputing something. I also see this Horse King here as allowing and delegating somebody else to take the lead for a while. If you are feeling heated, emotional about something, even if that's just stress and anxiety because of this thing that you've been working towards for so long, is so important to you, to not get too frustrated or upset about things when they don't work out, because I really feel like they will work out eventually. And when we loosen our control, we recognize that, like, oh, things can go in a different and better way, even if it wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be. So you are being asked to let go of anger and control, ask for assistance when you need it, delegate it when you need it. And the Horse King also comes to literally give you a ride. Like, hop on this horse, let me carry you for a while, or have it carry you through the threshold. So the horse spirit and the Horse King can also like give you a ride. So this is about asking for assistance from either spirit, your guides, or people in the physical realm to assist you. And this is where that delegation comes in. And I feel like if you are bringing people on this project or thing that you're working on, allowing other people to do some of the work for you. And I think this again is pointing back to the Page of Pentacles of learning how to let go of control. You can still lead and still learn and grow along the way, but not have it be so like it has to be this way and this is the only way. You also need to jump on this horse, because our sassy message is get some fucking sleep. You are being an ass because you are fucking tired. Face to pillow now. So remember that like I feel like you are the type of person that's just going to like work all hours of the night and not let it go because you just feel like if you stop then it's not going to get completed or it's not going to happen. It will, because you need to, and this is an important message that we talk about in the Just a Phase planner for this time. These next 2 Aries new moons, it's really going to be important for all of us to be replenishing our fuel, adding more fuel to the fire, filling our cup up, and really allowing and sustaining this energy, this firepower that we are being gifted and receiving. We need to be able to sustain it. Also, because there's a lot of fire here, like too much fire energy burns out and then you just crash and you burn. And having the shark spirit here too, like the shark energy is very fiery energy, but it's also water energy. So remember to call on these other elements to help balance you out, whether that's if water calms you down and cools you off, go for the water energy. But we also have the earth element here too, reminding us to slow down. We can still make movement just one step at a time. It doesn't have to be all at once. And even though some of it's going to be all at once because we have this 8 of Wands here. Some of it's going to be like, go, 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 now, now, now. But then get some fucking sleep, take a rest, jump on the horse, find and maintain this balance, and then we can move forward. Slow, steady, one step at a time. Or if you don't want to jump on the horse, just like let the current take you for a while. Let the water current take you for a while. So, for those of you that chose this pile, setting intentions, let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything that came through. The time is right now. If it didn't work out in the past, it will now that you are, and remember that like Aries energy is those first little sproutlings that pop up amongst the ground. They're so tender, they're so tiny. You have to be very gentle. So you are a tender little baby sproutling. Be gentle, allow for balance, and an equal exchange of energy, which is again pointing back to this justice. Like you need to be getting back as much energy that you are putting out. You can't just be putting out all this fire and then not having anything filling it back up. Your affirmation is, I am dedicated and determined, knowing my efforts will pay off. So if there's ever any doubt that arises, remember to say this affirmation over and over again. I am dedicated and determined, knowing that my efforts will pay off. Remember to be fair to everyone, including yourself. You can lead, but do not hone your power over others. Delegate authority and ask for assistance when you need it, and allow for time for rest. So setting your new moon intentions on finally taking these first steps, finally walking through that threshold, being ready to burn away anything that isn't serving you, burning away that old person that you used to be, that was scared and doubtful and maybe let their anger get the better of them. That person's gone. This new person is learning how to be a fair and just leader as you make your way through this threshold, through this spring equinox. I chose the red candle for you because we have so much fire represented here. And this is the time. This is the time. This is the time. I can't say that enough. If it didn't work out before, it's going to work out now. Now is now. Now is now is the time. Do the thing. If you want to see how all of these readings kind of connected, I'll have a closing statement at the end, so you can find that timestamp for the closing statement to kind of get a collective reading. And thank you so much for your support. I hope you have a wonderful, happy new moon. I can't wait to see where you are going with this energy, and all the best of luck to you. Hello, group 2. If you chose this blue candle, I'm going to light that for you now. And man, oh man, is your energy way different from group 1. However, I think that some of you used to have energy like group 1, which is very fiery and like go, 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 go. And now you are either approaching burnout or you have burnt out. And so your energy is a lot more calm, and your reading is more about resting and reflecting. And the reason I mentioned that, because there were a couple correlations between group 1 and this group. So I don't know, some of you might want to look at group 1 as well, but let's jump into yours. So the first card we have here is the Hanged Man. The 3 of Water, or the 3 of Cups. The Messenger of Water, which is also the messengers in this deck are the pages. So Page of Water. And the 6 of Fire. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about here with with this energy is like I feel like there was fire, but even the Hanged Man has a very watery kind of feeling, or maybe like a mix between water and air. See, he does have wings there. So, I mean, immediately I was just almost hit with this wave of just, whew, exhale, take a deep breath. Because like I said, the energy of the first group was just so like, ah, let's go, fire. This is like, and I've been feeling this energy collectively too. So there might be just a larger group of people that are selecting this pile, because when I tap into collective energy, I've been getting the message that this time of action that we've been preparing for, because we've been preparing for this Aries new moon and this spring equinox all year so far, that it's more of a receptive internal action than a physical outward expression of action, which is only something that I've come to realize as we are nearing closer to this time, because all year I've been like, let's rest, let's reflect, let's hibernate, and then we can take action. But this feels like the final integration of everything that we've been processing throughout the last few years, and more so throughout the last few months. So group 2, I feel like you have been go, go, go. You've been doing the work, even if it is slowly, one step at a time. And now it's time to celebrate. You've finally come to this realization of either, if I keep going like this, I'm going to burn out, or you just feel that call and that pull to be open, receptive to receiving. With the Page of Cups here, like, that's literally like holding the cup and allowing whatever gets poured in there to be open to receiving it. You're also like, the Hanged Man is also kind of this pause, this like, wait, let's look at things a little bit differently. Let's see what's going on here. And I really think that you are just being asked to take a break with this Three of Cups here too. Like, go out with your friends, have some drinks. Like, um, I don't know. There's something emotional that you need to be dealing with, and that might just be like allowing yourself to play and have fun, and to not take things so seriously if things have been difficult for you so far. Your community is going to support you with the Six of Fire here. If you need to deal with something emotional, know that you do have people around you that are going to lift you up and support you. And but the Six of Fire, I'm getting kind of a couple of different messages. I think for some of you, this is a time where you're going to need some emotional support, whether that's seeking out therapy or just the support of your community and your friends. You have that support there and available for you, and now it's just about being open and receptive to like receiving that help and that guidance. Even if that guidance is from spirit. This little seahorse guy is like really jumping out at me this whole time. So I think maybe you are receiving those messages from spirit. And seahorse is also a very community-oriented spirit animal. That the way that the seahorse lives amongst the coral is a very symbiotic relationship. Like the coral helps protect the seahorse, and the seahorse helps. Uh, uh, I don't know what it exactly does for it, but they both benefit from this relationship, and so there's this allowing your community to support you, whether that's your physical human 3D here on Earth community, or if it's your spirit community that is there to support you. But let's jump into your other cards. Like, I was just really feeling this. Well, first of all, here's your sassy message. Fucking meditate. Do you ever take a second to just breathe? Take 10 deep breaths and repeat this 1,000,000 times. So that was another reason, this card was another reason why I was feeling that some of you that have chosen this group are more like the group one of just like you've been going and going and going and going and doing and doing and doing and doing, and you need to take time out, look at things differently, and that is going to take sitting down, closing your eyes, and opening and expanding your mind and being open to receive the messages that you are meant to be receiving at this time. I think that collectively we are going through this. I think it's going to be a rapid ascension at this time. So for some of us, the action is more about receiving the downloads and integrating those things. I felt very called to this Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck for you, and we have insight, magical tools, writing, and star crafting. So you look at all these blues and these watery energy. Like, this is really about subconscious spiritual connection, and even like some could be unlocking creativity for some of you as well. From which mystery does insight arise? From what place do the words flow? And how can we connect so deeply that we write of the stars and their secrets? Perhaps we could do well to be like the wizard between the worlds, who draws down the energies of all that is above, and somehow weaves it into this world below, combining all that is celestial with all that is terrestrial. In those moments, we connect truly deeply, and we can literally become the link between the worlds, and through us can flow a pure and clear energy, a wise energy which can guide and comfort and enlighten, a compassionate energy that can see beyond the difference and find communion with those with whom we share this remarkable world. It is time to connect deeply and find the quiet in between times so you too can take up the pen and write. Sit quietly and connect and feel the flow of this energy that is the proof of your belonging, not only to this world, but to the worlds that lie beyond the sight of our eyes. You are one who can share the knowledge. You can write of the stars. You can understand the power of the pen, of the words that flow, and of the magical tools you can gather about you. This is a time to grow in your magical work, to learn how to use the scrying ball, to work by the soft enchantment that is candlelight, and to turn your gaze toward the stars and draw down the wonder to reveal what others cannot see in your works. Be the wizard who creates the bridge between the worlds. Alchemize the seen and the unseen, and let the wisdom pour through the pen and into the worlds that will flow out of you. I actually feel like I know who this specific message is for. I think that maybe you have been doing the spirit communication for other people, and that now it's time to really be open and receptive to receiving these messages for yourself, because I think you've been going, and you need to fill your own cup too. Take a break. Your community is not going anywhere. Fucking meditate for yourself, not for the sake of transmitting a message for somebody else or for clients or whatever. I think this is you can be receiving the messages as well and receiving the healing. I think you're putting out healing work, but you need to receive that healing work as well. This specific line really jumped out at me because of this card here. This is a time to grow stronger in your magical work, to learn how to use the scrying ball, and to work by the soft enchantment that is candlelight. This is a really powerful time on an Aries moon to be working with candle magic and candle energy, but there is also this when we turn off all the other lights and we just go by the flame and that natural light, that fire light, we are open up to even more subconscious watery energy, even though it is a literal flame. So there is this play between fire and water energy for this group, and I think some of that might be because of the burnout. You've been go, but you're also very connected to that water energy and that subconscious, that you need to find that balance, because and the other specific message I was receiving for this group was needing to allow the water to recede. I think there's been this overflow of downloads and information and spiritual connection and subconscious energy and dream work. That's a lot of water. We need to allow the water to recede so that the flame can light again. Because we can't have fire and water existing in the same place. We have to you need to put a floating candle in there, or you need to allow that water to dry out a little bit so that you can rekindle your flame, rekindle your spark and your fire. So in Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed that it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame. No matter how harshly the winds around you blow, it could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. And I think that you are the poet, the mystic, or the shaman, but you have to protect that flame from all of that water energy. Your spirit animal is the panda. This again is reminding us of that balance. We have to have this balance of fire and water. Stay balanced in your essence. And this was another connection to group 1, because group 1 they did not get the panda spirit animal, but they had, one of the other cards had panda in it, which I really jumped out at me, and I thought that was significant, and now I know why, because this panda is showing up again here. So if you feel kind of called to number 1, maybe kind of combining both of these messages together. Let me see if there was any messages that popped out about the panda spirit too, other than that. Because they are the dark and the light, and are able to maintain that balance. Oh, I did have it marked off, so maybe I did want to read from it. So these solitary, peaceful animals are heart healers who come from the Pleiades. Their hearts radiate truth, innocence, and purity, and they embody the symbol of the blue rose. Ooh, interesting. This allows pure source healing to be stepped down into their energy fields. Keep your heart pure and light. When you think of panda, the angel Mary connects you directly to the cosmic heart to receive healing and love. I think you've been really giving other people your heart energy, and you need to be receptive of it as well. The panda card asks you to stay in balance. And because of this Pleiadian connection and this star energy connection, I think that you really are channeling information from the subconscious, from the cosmos, whatever. And there needs to be this balance of the fire and the water. But I also wanted to pull a more earthy card for you. And we have the Mirror Guardian, time to reflect, which, like, literally gazing at the stars in this mirror. I think you're able to channel this information and bring it to your community, but you're really needing to be receptive and use that healing for yourself and fucking meditate. So for group 2, I suggest setting intentions around this very active Aries fiery moon about having that rest is your action, being receptive is your action, protecting your light and your flame from all of this water. Your community is not going anywhere. Your water energy is going to continue to flow, but it needs to flow around your flame so that you are physically able to balance and maintain and channel this energy for those who are also open and receptive to receiving it. 3 of Cups is still here though. Like, have fun, take a break. We can't be all spirit all the time. We are humans. We came here to have a human experience. Go out and party with your friends and have it not be like this. Have it be light and fluffy and not super deep and philosophical. Even though it's nice that you have those connections and those outlets for all of that, you still need to like go out and have fun and dance a little. So if you are interested in how all of these readings are connecting together and a more of a collective reading, click on that closing timestamp, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thanks so much for your support. We will see you on the other side of the looking glass. Alrighty, group 3, if you chose the green candle, I'm going to light that for you now. And buckle up, friends, because you got the most cards out of all of the readings. So let's jump into the tarot cards. we have Three of Earth, or the Three of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Earth, or the Eight of Pentacles. The King of Fire, or the King of Wands. And the Messenger of Air, or the Page of Air, or Page of Swords, sorry. So, group 3, you have the biggest heart. I can't stop looking at this sweet man's heart. You are the King of Wands, you are the King of Fire, you are the King of Hearts, and I see that you've been doing a lot of work on yourself and a lot of work for your community. And this reading and this moon is asking you to remind yourself that you are a part of the community, you are a part of the collective. And so it's important that you conclude that in your heart, in the love that you are giving to others. Remember that you need to be giving it to yourself as well. Your animal spirit is ant. Cooperate for the highest good of the community. And this is going right with the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about collaborating with others. And again, this was just another message of like, remember, you are part of the community. You make this community. But you need to include yourself in the heart and the love that you are putting out in the world. Because the Page of Air is here, or the Page of Swords, the Messenger of Air, I'm being guided to really take my time with this reading. That's why we chose extra cards. And I want to read all of the messages, because the Messenger of Air, or the Page of Swords, is what helps you find clarity. I think that you have been searching and searching and trying to find direction, and you've put so much love and effort into the people around you and to finding your path, and now I think either you have recently found that clarity of what direction you want to be going in, or this moon cycle is about finding that clarity and finding that direction. So I've been guided to really, really like dive deep into these cards here for you. And the message of the Ant card is to devote yourself to making your home welcoming and harmonious, while at the same time acting to bring your community together. You can take small steps like picking up litter or smiling at your neighbors, or aim higher and actively offer yourself in service. The ants carry the key to Sirius, which is to understand the universal Metatron's cube, which is depicted here in the center. There's also a black and white version here. Look at it to absorb its energy. This is a fundamental tool to open your consciousness to the power of sacred geometry. The patterns act as codes that start to balance you and bring you into alignment with your soul blueprint. The angels will begin to sing, pouring their beautiful sonics over you, and this will attract higher energies and people towards you. So be open and receptive to receiving these downloads and messages from Spirit, because you will then transmit them into your community. And this is helping you find clarity, maybe working with Metatron's cube. You can simply draw this on a piece of paper to work with it. You can find images like this and print them out. You can find a lot of you can find crystals that are carved into that shape as well. I don't have one sitting near me, but let's dive into your other cards. We have the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. The message of this card, and I believe we got this last month as well, in one of the piles. The message of the galactic mushroom is not only, again, pointing and linking to the cosmos and your connection to it, but also a reminder that mushrooms have this deep matrix underground, that the actual fruit itself is just the fruit of the plant. The actual like main structure of the mushroom is underground, and it's all connected under there, very much like the ants have this intricate tunnel underground. So I think there's a lot going on underground for you, both on the subconscious, and spirit is working to make these connections that I think you will eventually start to see as we move through this next moon cycle and the rest of this year. Your other message here is the farther gate. Bold step forward, and I think this again is pointing you towards finding your path. I think you have been working towards finding your path, but I think you have been kind of confused or blurry, or again focusing on others instead of focusing on yourself, and now you're kind of being guided, and I think the path is becoming more clear for you and becoming more illuminated. When the farther gate card shows up, it is a clear call to lift your eyes to the horizon and begin to walk towards your future. You have been marching in place right now, stirring the dust but not getting anywhere. Trust that your forward movement will lead you to a new destination. You have already set for yourself, but perhaps forgotten or neglected because of your everyday busyness. I really found this, like, all of this, like, connecting together to, like, you've been working, but you haven't been moving forward because your heart is too big and you put others before yourself. And now is the time to let your heart lead you to your path, and see how, like, we can see that there's a gate there, we can see that there's a path there, but I think it hasn't been as clear as it is now. Make the move. It is important to keep moving. Water is all about change and movement. The only water that isn't moving is stagnant, and usually that's a bad thing, both for the water and for everything that depends on it. Make sure that you aren't just sitting still. Get up and do some form of exercise today, whether it's walking, biking, dancing, or even cleaning your house. Then think about your goals and aspirations and do one thing, no matter how small, that moves you closer to achieving it. And the last card that we have here is the cave. And I think that you have already been in this cave, and now it's time for you to step out. But I'm still going to read the message of this card. For those who have been fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to the fire, because I think that you need to retreat to your cave to find your own heart, your own path, and your own center. It's also going to connect you to this underground matrix that the galactic mushroom's giving you, that the ants have created their tunnels. The path has been paved for you, or connected for you. It's now about you connecting to it and following it and making that move. I'm really being guided to just give you this information here because you already know this. You've already been working on it, but you're just putting others and making excuses and the busyness of the day to day. But like, you've already been working on this. Now it's time to connect all of that energy and get moving. And I think now you see that. It hasn't been this clear before. Now you see that. Now you're able to do it. And group 3, I love and appreciate you so very much. Thank you for sharing your heart with this community. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. And I'm so grateful that you have connected with us and that you are finding your path and your true calling. And I can't wait to see where you go from here. If you would like to see how all 3 of these readings connected to each other and get a more collective reading and interpretation of the energy of this new moon, there will be a closing statement immediately following this reading here. And thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful and happy new moon. Hello, and thank you for taking time out for yourself to reflect, to set intentions, and to figure out what direction you're going in, how you're going to get moving for this Aries new moon. Now, we've been anticipating this new moon for, well, at least since January. And we've all been hopefully hibernating, integrating, and now we're ready to get moving. Aries is a fire element. That's why we're using the candles here today. And this is about igniting that spark, lighting up from within. We're also leaving Pisces season, and Pisces season taught us that that we can believe in our dreams, to like really let our imaginations run wild, to be wary of delusions and finding that true sense of purpose that like lights up your soul. And now we're being given that flame and that fire to light. So Pisces season allowed us to cleanse, clear, and believe in our dreams. This new moon lights a fire under our feet and asks us to get moving. There is no, when this happens, I will ... or after this, then ... or next time. There is no next time. The time is now. At least just for this moon cycle. If you can commit to getting moving, getting started, taking the first steps, taking the leap of faith, and jumping in and starting something this moon cycle, and just commit to it. Dedicate yourself to it for at least this moon cycle. It's going to plant that seed that's going to eventually blossom. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be next month. We might not see the things that we're starting and planting right now come to fruition until fall. We might not see them come to fruition until years from now. So this is really about the initiation, the integration, the jump start. But the biggest thing that I've noticed now that we're here and now that we are so close to this Aries energy and the spring equinox, not all of us are going to be physically moving. Some of this movement is internal movement, is receptive movement, being open and allowing and trusting. It's not necessarily like physically being at the starting line and racing to the finish line. This is, for some of us, receptive movement. Now, for others, this is like have been building up momentum, and this is the starting line. This is the jumping off point, but it's not for everybody. Some of it's internal movement, some of it's external movement. And it just depends on what you're feeling called and drawn to do. Pay attention to that. And that's the thing, like we're being called to pay attention to our hearts, to listen to what's going on within our heart space and lead with that. To lead with love first before and above anything else. Very different energies for these three groups today. So there weren't any similar cards. There were a couple of connections. The panda came up in both groups. Other than being heart-centered and heart-connected, that's the biggest thing. Connect to your heart, connect to your community, connect to your loved ones. Put love and community and the highest good of all before everything else. That is the biggest thing. And there's a lot of things happening beneath the surface, whether that's underwater surface, in the cosmos, behind the scenes, or literally underground. Spirit is moving and connecting and shaping and forming this like underground, underwater, up in the cosmos connections that we are maybe not able to see yet, or we're just starting to see and feel and notice around us. But it's all happening for the highest good, for the betterment of the collective and for humanity. So some of us are needing to change perspective. Some of us are needing to take time out and to celebrate and to play a little bit. Some of us need, there's the other panda. Some of us are needing rapid movement, rapid fire. Some of us are needing more slow moving, slow burning fire. Balance and justice is really, really important right now. Staying heart-centered, allowing that dark and light, the white and the black, the dark and the light, and the scales to be even and fair and just for everybody. There was a lot of fire here. We had the King of Fire, the Six of Fire. We had the Eight of Fire. So there is movement. It's just some of it is internal movement. And we're needing to stay grounded and connected to the earth. Grounded and connected to the earth, to our community, to the people that are lifting us up. letting go of the things that aren't lifting us up, releasing, starting new, starting fresh, getting clarity, and hearing the messages from spirit, listening to the messages, being, for some of us, this is about being the messenger. But we are all either about to take a step forward, reigniting that flame within, or allowing ourselves to go within, find that spark, and then come out of the cave. So I was really anticipating a lot of movement and kind of surprised that now that we're here, I'm like, oh, this is about like being open and receptive. And it's interesting because in January, when I pulled a card for this time of year, we got the Page of Cups and the Chariot. So the Chariot literally does mean movement, and it is that balancing of the light and dark and being balanced in order to move forward. And the Page of Cups is about being open and receptive to receiving those messages from Spirit, receiving the help that you need, the support that you need from your community, from the support that you need from Spirit. And just by allowing and trusting and being that, you'll be surprised what pops out of that cup, what comes out of that vessel that you've created and that you've allowed yourself to be. All in all, I think this is a really big change and shift for all of us. And I think a lot of times I try to connect and relate these readings to each other, but I think we are all having a very different experience. But just because we're having a different experience doesn't make one more valuable, more important, and it doesn't make your experience any less than anybody else's. So I think this is about leading from the heart, knowing what's right and best for you and trusting that and allowing that, and not letting anybody else's experience influence your own. And don't diminish anybody else's experience just because it's different from yours. So I think this is about acceptance and allowance and appreciation for the differences that we are all experiencing, and not making anyone better or worse than the other. This is about us all coming together collectively and supporting one another. Just because somebody is doing something similar than yours doesn't mean that it's comparable to you. So don't put yourself down. Don't put others down. Lift yourself up. Lead from the heart. Lead, be the light, be the beacon, be the better person. Take the higher road. Look at the higher perspective. And it all comes down to the heart. The heart is at the center. The flame is at the center.